The King's Hole and Other Stories. The King's Hole. The king found a hole in a field. It was round and deep, and he couldn't see the bottom. "Is there anyone in there?" he called. "Come out if there is," he shouted. But no one called out, and no one came out. "I shall keep this hole for myself," said the king. "I must put something in the hole," said the king. He looked down the hole again. "I know what I'll do," he said. "I'll put a rabbit down the hole." So he went round the field to look for a rabbit. He saw a big brown rabbit in the long grass. The king picked him up and put him down the hole. Now the king had a big brown rabbit in his big brown hole. The king looked down the hole, but he couldn't see the rabbit at all. "Come out!" he shouted. But the big brown rabbit didn't want to come out of the hole. "Oh, brother," said the king, and he stamped his foot. "Come out!" he shouted again. The rabbit came out of the hole and ran away. "Now, what shall I put in my hole?" said the king. "I know, I'll put a big fat worm in it." So the king got a big fat worm and put it in the hole. The king looked down this hole, but he couldn't see the worm at all. "Come out!" he shouted, but the worm didn't want to come out. The king was very cross. "Oh, brother," he said, and he stamped his foot. Some soil on the edge fell into the hole, and the king stamped his foot again. Lots more soil fell into the hole, and wind blew some seeds across the field. The king was so cross that he went home. He didn't go to the hole for a long time. Then one day he said, "I'll go and look at my hole. Perhaps I can think of something to put in it after all." So the king went to look at the hole. But he couldn't find his hole in the field. He found lots of little yellow flowers, but there was no hole at all. "I wonder where are those flowers came from," said the king. "I like them better than my hole, and they won't run away." How the tortoise got his shell. This is another good story. A long time ago, the gods lived high up in the sky. One day, they wanted to have a party. "We will ask all the animals on earth to our party," they said. But only birds could go to the party. All the animals could not fly high up into the sky. They had to stay at home. Tortoise was sad. He wanted to go to the party. Then he had an idea. Stop, he shouted to the birds. Don't go without me. You can't come with us, said the birds. You have no wings. How will you fly? I will fly if you will help me, said the tortoise. Give me a feather from your wings. So all the birds gave the tortoise a feather, and the tortoise was made a fine pair of wings. He stuck the wings on his shell. Now I can fly, said the tortoise. Now I can go to the party. But now that I have wings, I need a new name. My wings are made from the feathers of all of you. So my new name shall be all of you. What a good name, said the birds. Then they all went off to the party. There was lots of food at the party. The tortoise was hungry. He wanted all the food for himself. Who is all the food for? He asked. It's for all of you, said the gods. They did not know that tortoise had a new name. Oh, good, said the tortoise. It's all for me. And he ate it all up. The birds didn't have any food at all. The birds were very cross, so they took back all their feathers. Now you will have to get home by yourself, they said. Then they left the tortoise in the sky. The tortoise called down to his wife. I'm going to jump down from the sky, he said. Get some leaves and grass for me to land on. But the birds were still cross, so they took the leaves and grass away. The tortoise jumped and landed on the ground with a bang. His shell broke into lots of little bits. His wife stuck them all together again very carefully. But if you look at a tortoise, you will see where the tortoise broke his shell and where his wife stuck all the bits together again. The third next story is Gone is Gone. Let's see what's in the story. Peter lived on a farm with his wife Lisa and their baby girl Katie. They had a dog called Spot, 1 cow, 2 goats, 3 pigs, and 10 hens. Peter worked hard in the fields. Lisa worked hard in the house, and she looked after the baby. But every day, Peter said to Lisa, "You do not work as hard as I do. Your work in the house is easy." One day, Lisa said to him, "If you think my work is so easy, today you can do my work and I will do yours. Now you don't forget to take the cow to the field, make the soup and clean the house, look after the baby and don't let Spot into the kitchen." Lisa went to work in the fields and Peter sat in the sun. "This will be an easy day for me," he said. "There's lots of time." After a while, he went inside. I'm hungry, he said. I'll cook some sausages to eat. So he put some sausages in the pan. I'm so hot, he said. I'll get a mug of beer from the barrel. He went to the barrel and began to pour out the beer. Then he heard a noise in the kitchen. Oh dear, he said. I have left the door open and Spot has come into the kitchen. He rushed up to the kitchen and what did he see? Spot was running away with the sausages. Never mind, he said. What's gone is gone. He went back to the barrel, but he had left the tap on, and there was beer all over the floor. I will wipe it up later, he said. Now I must see to the cow. It's too far to take her to the field. There's lots of grass on the roof, so she can eat that. So Peter took the cow up on the roof. He tied a long piece of rope to her leg and put the other end down the chimney. That will stop her running away, he said. Then he went back into the house and tied the other end of the rope round his middle. Now I must make the soup, he said. He put the big soup pot on the fire, but oh dear, just then there was a bump and a thud. The cow had fallen off the roof. That gave a big tug to the rope and Peter was pulled halfway up the chimney. When Lisa came home, she saw the cow hanging from the roof, so she cut the rope. Down came the cow, but inside the house, down came Peter, and he landed with a splash right inside the soup pot. When Lisa helped him out, he said, Oh Lisa, I'll do my work and you do yours. Never again I will say that your work is easy. And from that day to this, they lived happily